I can't believe what we just saw. In this video, I'm going to give my takeaways from Game 5 between the Rays and the Yankees, with the Yankees losing 2-1 and being eliminated from the postseason. If you guys like this video, make sure to press that like button. If you have some feedback you'd like to give, something you'd like to chat about, what your thoughts are on the series, press the comment button. And if you want to make me happy and do a nice gesture, press the subscribe. And it's just so crazy, the matchup where this happened. Mike Brazo, obviously there's a lot of history between Brazo and Chapman, the guy we hit the home run off of. As you know, earlier in the season, made a whole video about it, about Chapman throwing inside by his head. Chapman gets suspended. Whole big thing, you know, oh, there's a rivalry with the Yankees and Rays now. Kevin Cash makes some implications that he may want to retaliate, suspend the managers, you know, like they did a whole lot of stuff after that, you know, altercation that happened. And to have Brazo come in late in the game, he was not even one of the guys who started this one, come in late for Ji-Man Choi, Mr. Big Home Runs against Garrett Cole, a pretty important player to this Rays team. But you know what? That's one of the things that really stands out about the Tampa Bay Rays in this series. No big-time star player. You know, as big a series and players as Randy Arozarena has had, and as much as we talked about Brandon Lau, you know, earlier in the year, there is not just one big-time, you know, perennial all-star guy. They had literally everybody contribute, and it was a team effort. And it's just so crazy to the Yankees that this elimination that just happened feels just like the elimination before that, and before that, and before that. Literally the same problems. All or nothing hitting, you know, by right-handed guys. All they do is hit home runs or they strike out. They don't find other ways to score runs. And Chapman gives up home runs late in games. I mean, how many times could the same thing happen? It's just like mind-boggling. So I think, like, as dominant as we may think that Chapman is, he's a little sketchy, you know? Like, in these big games, he gives up home runs. Like, how many times have we said, oh, Chapman blew that playoff game, then, oh, Chapman saved that playoff game. Good thing the Yankees have Chapman because, oh, man, they wouldn't have any shot in this postseason. You don't really say that. It's usually the opposite. Like, the big game, the elimination game, the do-or-die one, Chapman blows it. That can't keep happening, especially if your offense is so inconsistent where you are going off against the Indians, scoring the most runs in history in the first few games of a postseason, and then boom, up one run. One run in the do-or-die game, elimination game. I felt so confident about this game for the Yankees. I really thought they were going to win it. I was like, Garrett Cole on the mound. Other guys are finally going to step up. Momentum in Yankees' favor. I'm dumb. I was wrong. You know, obviously, Tampa Bay, like, they didn't even do anything crazy. That's got to be the frustrating thing if you're a Yankee fan. Like, Tampa Bay didn't even do anything crazy. Like, this is as winnable a game could be. Tampa Bay only scored 2 runs. I mean, the Yankees couldn't get more than 1 run. Are you serious? But that's just what it was the whole series. Like, even when the Yankees were going off, it was home runs, you know. Stanton hits a big home run. Urshela hits a big home run. Judge hits a home run. Or Sanchez, Frazier, whoever it is, it's all home runs. It's not, oh, the big double, oh, the big triple, the single, the sacrifice fly, the ground out, like little things. Tampa Bay had a lot of home runs as well. But, I mean, what I really like about Tampa Bay was just the blueprint of their pitching, you know. We talk about pitching depth. Like, I love the way the Rays approached this game, like such a sense of urgency. And the Yankees did too. But, I mean, the fact that they started Tyler Glasnow on such short rest, won a couple innings, really Eslad Nick Anderson, he delivered. Eslad Fairbanks delivered. Castillo delivered. And in the 9th inning, they had Blake Snell and Charlie Moore warming up in the bullpen. Like, Rays were all hands on deck. Everybody was available. You know, they didn't care what it takes. If they had to pinch hit and take Ji-Man Choi out of the game, go to Brazo, boom, that's what they're going to do. And the Yankees did that too because Cole was in full rest. You know, we saw Britton go for multiple ways. We saw Chapman come in the 7th inning, which I tweeted. I believe that's a little too early. And it ended up, I don't want to say it ended up being too early because who else are you going to go to? Like, it's Chapman. So, for the Yankees, I think that, you know, we have such these high expectations for them. You know, I thought this team was going to the World Series. A lot of people did. But obviously, there is still a lot of work that needs to be done. A lot of work. Not just like a little bit. Not just one move. Boom, the Yankees are okay. Because after what happened with Masahiro Tanaka and the whole garbage with Garcia and Happ, it is clear the Yankees need a lot more starting pitching. It can't just be one guy. You need to be the Tampa Bay Rays. We have like 3 guys, you know what I mean? Where you have the Glasnow and the Moore and the Snell. You need at least 3 guys. And then 3 quality bullpen guys, which I think the Yankees still have with Green, Britton, and Chapman. But I think one thing for the Yankees is that you can't keep Brendan Chapman for forever. They've had them for quite a while now, and these pitchers are only getting older. So I do think that's something you're concerned about. And then the other thing that is very obvious is the Yankees need some left-handed hitters that really could put the ball in play, hit for a high average, not just these all or nothing, because it's clear that that method, that philosophy, it doesn't work. Because since the same thing is happening year after year after year, you have got to make some changes to prevent that outcome from continuously happening. And the Yankees have shown that they don't want to do that. Like, they literally keep the same guys out there, and they go all in. It's overkill. And I was like, oh, let's get another all-or-nothing right-handed hitter. Like, the entire lineup. You throw in Brett Gardner, he made a huge catch. Brett Gardner robbing the home run against Randy Arozarena, of course, because he's been so hot this whole postseason. That was a big play. But the Yankees didn't capitalize. They didn't cash in by scoring some runs of their own. They had some base runners, other than the 3 hits they got. They drew walks, but they weren't able to completely put it together. And Cole got into a jam early, but other than that, he was dominant. Like, Cole did his job. The $324 million, Garrett Cole, let me hold $5. But he did his job, so, that was the big fish in the offseason. But I still was concerned about their offense. I said that from the beginning. I said, you know what? You let Didi walk. I would have liked to keep him, but I understand why with the money and all that stuff. But the Yankees in previous postseasons have not been hit with runners on base, have been all or nothing. And it's been obvious. And the fact that it happened again, what are you going to do here? Because not only do you have to address that offense, but again, you have to address the rotation too. And the Yankees have a lot of money committed already. 2 guys like a Stanton, like a Garrett Cole, even Chapman. And eventually, what do you do with Aaron Judge? What do you do with Gary Sanchez? What do you do with Gleyber Torres? These are questions the Yankees are going to have to answer. And what I have to say is that the Yankees have got to win a championship soon. Because if they don't do it now, it's only going to get harder. Because, like I said, these guys who are veterans, they're going to get older. And the young players are going to get more expensive. You know what I mean? Whether maybe Cliff Frazier can retain him. Brett Gardner can only play for so long. So a lot of questions have got to be answered for this New York Yankees team. It's obvious that there's still a lot of work to do. And you give Tampa Bay credit because, you know what, they just have a good team. Because, again, it's not star-driven. It could be anybody. Anybody could have the big game. Whether it's a Arozarena, Austin Meadows obviously had a big home run this game. You got Brazo off the bench. Yandy Diaz could get some hits. Or Willie Adames. Kevin Kiermaier had a big home run this series. Mike Zunino hit a home run this series. Obviously, Ji-Man Choi hit a home run this series. So it's like the entire... Michael Perez got big hits. So literally... everybody does something for this Tampa Bay team. And they're going to be going up against a really good team in the Houston Astros. The Astros have done really well this year. In the postseason so far, the Astros offense has been fantastic. So I do think that that is definitely going to be very important for them. The fact that the Astros have scored so many runs and the Tampa Bay pitching, how is that going to match up? I think that's going to make for a great matchup and definitely should make for some great videos. So make sure to stay tuned around for that. And then the next video will be NBA Finals. Looks like that might wrap up tonight. Maybe not. If the Heat win, they can extend the series. So we'll see what happens once that game is concluded. But until the next one, be safe, be smart, be healthy, and have a